You should ignore my words because they really only carry something, a meaning that is not entirely representative of what I'm saying or what is inside of me or what is making up the bulk of what I'm trying to communicate, which basically is a good analogy for what I'm trying to communicate, which is that humans, personalities, people, identities aren't made up of words, and they're not made up of ego. What we are made up of has nothing to do with the words we, I, you, me. Has to do with something that lies beyond us and within us. Cosmic, pulsing. We all are a part of each other, and we're a part of objects and felt reality, things that are tangible, things that are within us in our internal world, all exist in the same reality, and none of us actually fully live in that reality because you can't. We all live in a place between realities. We live in a boulder between the sea and the land. We exist in a space that is small and stagnant, and that is because that's the only way we can communicate or interact with reality, as opposed to being immersed in it or really understanding it or seeing it. We need to be able to take what we need from reality, but we can't actually experience it as it is because it's so much chaos that basically our minds would be blown and we wouldn't be able to function in a society, in a reality that we all agree on. In a way, the world is too real for people to bear, so we create our own little egos, our own little identities that allow us to exist and communicate and show people things, but it also causes a lot of pain. It causes us to feel trapped, to feel misunderstood, when really we're being misunderstood because we're not communicating things accurately. But we're also limited by language, which is not a precise way of communicating. So you can say one thing, mean a very different thing, but still have used the best language you could possibly think of. Basically, reality is not communicable, but it is something we all have the capacity to feel and be a part of. But unfortunately, because we can't communicate it, we all pretend like it's not there and live in these worlds we create. Sometimes it can be maddening and can make you feel very alone. But just know everybody else is feeling alone in their little world, in their little universe, within the actual one. if you're able to open your mind, your soul, it's impossible to feel alone, because nobody is alone. That's a feeling we have created to feel like we have our own identity, our own individuation. Is that a word? Well, our own individual selves, our own individual worlds that we created. And we defend very powerfully. If somebody threatens to break into your world, you separate yourself from them. Unless it's under very specific circumstances, such as a relationship or a friendship or a corporate relationship, workplace relationship. Everything has a term and a location in your mind, and there are different boundaries for different types of relationships. But once you see that people are completely overlapping and connected, it can be difficult to play the game of relationships. It can be difficult to stay on your little boulder between the ocean and the land, and it can be difficult to play along. Sometimes you forget and go right back into ego, identity, fake reality land. Then you realize you feel dissociated, alone, sad, disconnected, misunderstood, ashamed. And those are all things that are projected by this reality we create for ourselves